All right, I just want to make sure that you can see and hear me before we dive into this. All right. So welcome you guys. Today is Tuesday, the 25th of May. So welcome and thank you for joining me today. We're going to be talking about our bonus programs, and we do have a number of different bonus programs available. So we'll kind of dive deep into what that is. I'll have you take a look at some of the requirements for the bonuses, as well as explaining them to you. And then, of course, we'll give you some shout outs to those who earned the bonuses here in this last month. So April bonuses are usually paid the previous month's bonuses are usually paid the following month, around the 10th to the 15th. And so we've got a couple of different ones that have been paying out last week. This last week we had our Scorecard bonus. We also had our Smart Drive bonus. Those bonuses, like I said, they pay out around the 10th to the 15th of every month. And they're calculated based off of the miles that you run. And then, of course, the amount of the bonus that you receive will be times the number of miles that you ran for that previous month. So that's what we'll be talking about, figuring those out, what the process is. But as always, when you come aboard and you're part of the conversation, please make sure that in the chat you let me know where you're at, where you're tuning in from. If you're wondering about a specific position that we have available, and we'll go over a few different options, but if you're wondering about a specific area, just let me know. I'll need to know your city and state or your zip code so that I can actually give you those details. And of course, give you the qualifications and stuff for that position, those positions as well. But welcome to the 25th of May Q&A here at Decker Truckline. Yes, we do have some new opportunities available. As of this week, we've got some additional dedicated and regional running lanes for our flatbed division that we'll be talking about. Expanded refrigerated fresh meat dedicated position. So we've expanded that just a little bit. And then, of course, like I said, some shout outs for all of these bonuses. So let's first start by answering questions on what kind of bonuses we have, what it takes to get those bonuses. We have a few different incentives, just a few. So, of course, your rate of pay per mile is, your rate of pay is per mile, and 10 cents of that is per diem. The amount that you'll be getting per mile is dependent on how much experience you have. So again, if you reach out to us, let us know how much experience you have, give us some details, we'll be able to answer it more accurately on what we have available here. I'm not seeing the chat, so hopefully, and I'm not sure if you can see the chat, but I don't see anything there. If you guys could just let me know that chat is working, that would be awesome. That way because as of right now, I'm not seeing anything from there. So again, if you put your information in the chat, I'll be able to hopefully read it and answer them as they come in. The bonuses. First off, we have our current sign-on bonus, and this can change from time to time. We change the sign-on bonuses. Anna says she sees it. She's connected. My layout is quite different, and I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the chat. Okay, so Anna, I'm going to rely on you to, if you could, just send it over Teams here because I don't see any chat at all. So strange. Cool. She's sending images. Thank you. Why don't I see that? Okay, so scorecard bonuses. Yes. Ken is here. Hey, Ken. Long time no see. Eddie's here. Hello, Eddie. Chat is working. Frog is here. Good deal. Yeah, I've got nothing. On there. I don't know why. All right, so we've got you here. We're answering as they come in. I'm just going to keep that open, Anna, so I'll rely on you if you don't mind. Okay, we're talking about the bonuses. The sign-on bonus, like I said, can vary from time to time. As of this very moment, on the 25th of May, we do have our $5,000 sign-on bonus. It's an accelerated sign-on bonus, so the more miles that you run over and beyond for the refrigerated or van division, over and beyond 25,000 for the quarter would get you an extra 5 cents a mile on top of the $5,000 that you get total for your first year, which ends up being what, $1,250 each quarter. And then the miles for the flatbed, anything over 20,000 miles for the quarter, will get you an extra 5 cents a mile on that. All right. Let's see. Share your zip code. Please give us an opportunity. Accept every challenge. Please give us an opportunity. Okay. So, if you're going to have to give us a little bit more information. Is it Afshan? Afshan, if you could give us a little bit more information on, where you live and what you can. Yes, we do require a valid Class A CDL with experience. PTDI certified schools, we can train from some of those. From all PTDI certified schools. So let us know where you're at, where you're located at, and how much experience you have. Eddie says, Sun City, Arizona. Yes, we've got some over-the-road refrigerated out of there, which would get you home every 2 to 3 weeks. You've got the team opportunity, but I have a lot of solo opportunities out of there. It runs coast to coast. Most of it's going to be west to Midwest, even though it is a coast-to-coast position. West of the Mississippi is the majority of that freight. And figure about 2 to 3 weeks out at a time. Ken says, been making that paper. All these rates are good. Awesome. All right. Afshan, give us some more details on experience. Speaking of, he mentioning needing a job, needing to apply. This number right below me here, 888-668-0698. That is the best number to call to get a hold of a recruiter. And then our website to fill out an application is right here, drivedecker.com. So drivedecker.com. And we'll be able to have a recruiter reach out to you, answer some questions, and hopefully be able to hire you on and help you out. So yes, so hopefully Ashton, that'll answer some of those questions for you. Pre-qualifying, you do need to have a valid Class A CDL. You need to have at least 3 years with a valid U.S. license, and the minimum requirements are PTDI certified school. If you have 3 months of experience, you'll have minimal training with us because you've got some over the road. Then we'll have you go with a trainer for a short time. We do pay for training. We have, if you have 3, 5, 7 months of experience, we do have opportunities for newer or less experienced drivers as well, in order to get you going and get you in the right direction, train you for the way out. So getting out on your own. With our rate of pay per mile, 10 cents of that's per diem, you do get a penny raise after 90 days, and you get a penny raise every year on your anniversary. So I'm going to right back up to the hire-on bonus, or the sign-on bonus that we were talking about. And that is, let's see, what do you offer out of Joplin, Missouri? We've got some flatbed and refrigerated out of there, flatbed for sure. About 2 to 3 weeks out right now, Ken. 2 to 3 weeks out. So with the sign-on bonus, it's $5,000. It pays quarterly. Like I said, it's $1,250 each quarter. But the more miles you run, so if you ran over 20,000 miles in the flatbed division, the miles over 20,000 will get an extra 5 cents a mile on all those miles. With the refrigerated, everything over 25,000 for the miles would get an extra 5 cents a mile. Same with the van. So I'm going to give you here, for this week, give you some idea of what we've got for bonuses that are being paid out for just the sign-on. So basically, these individuals were hired on in January, right? I'm trying to think of what month it is. February or so. Each quarter is what they pay out. So those who hired on, we've got the, there we go, the quarterly accelerator bonus. Sam and Daniel, when they hired on, they had the opportunity to make an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles that they ran over 25,000. Sam made an extra $70 on that. Let's see, in our flatbed division, we had Rick and Marvin, who both started a quarter ago, and for everything they run over 20,000 miles for the quarter, they get an extra 5 cents a mile, which puts both Rick and Marvin a little over 400, 500 for Marvin So an extra $500 on that quarterly bonus. Not too shabby. So again, you get the $1,250 plus you get the extra cents per mile. That puts Marvin over $1,700 for that quarterly bonus, that part of that sign-on bonus. So fantastic numbers. The requirements for that are pretty basic. The accelerated quarterly bonus is very similar to the guaranteed pay that you get every week. Remember I said you get the cents per mile, but the guaranteed pay means that you won't go below that. So for everybody in the over-the-road divisions, you get a guarantee of $1,000 a week. Means you won't go below that. Well, most individuals that are in that are running about $1,300 to $1,500 gross, is how much you're looking at on a gross basis. $1,300 to about $1,500 or so on average, which means that your taxes are going to be coming out of that. But that guaranteed is kind of like a safety net in case weather or truck issues or whatever the circumstance might be. The qualifications are: make sure you're available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. No load refusals, no CSA violations or points for the week, no preventable accidents for the week, on-time delivery, and of course, get your paperwork in on time. Paperwork has to be in by 10 p.m. on Sunday. Ideally, you're getting it in after every load, but worst case scenario, Sunday at 10 p.m., and that will get paid. Everything that's in by then will get paid by Friday. Now, as long as you've got all of your paperwork in, you've got that guarantee. But like I said, most are getting above and beyond that guarantee. Now, there are some exceptions to that, depending on the areas that you're running, and I'll go into those where that guarantee comes in very handy. Specifically for the one I'm thinking of is my Midwest flatbed division. If you live in the Chicago area or within 50 miles of Chicago, $1,700 is what you're guaranteed on a weekly basis. You're home weekly, and you're probably not going to make more than that $1,700 because of the number of miles that you're running, but you've got that solid $1,700 that you can rely on each and every week. Same qualifications, be available for dispatch, no load refusals, no late delivery, so on-time delivery, no CSA violations, no preventable accidents, and get your paperwork in on time. I really wanted to say get your load there on time, but I couldn't spit it out. So anyways, those are the 6 requirements. They're very basic. Same requirements for the sign-on bonus. The sign-on bonus, you only have to adhere to those qualifications 70% of the time, at least 70% of the time, in order to get that sign-on bonus paid out quarterly. Whereas the weekly, it's on a week-by-week basis, and of course, per week, you need to be 100% compliant in order to do that, or you'll get just the cents per mile, which in the same sense could be not just the cents per mile, but the cents per mile can and probably will outpay that guarantee that you have, or that minimum pay, or however you want to word that, because we kind of refer to it back and forth. So any questions on that, feel free to ask. Anna is sending me over some of these comments, so I want to make sure. Hey, Tim is on. Tim Olden, good deal. Can I get a mentoring bonus? That's what we call the referral bonus. Well, speaking of the referral bonus, we do have that a referral program set up so that for every person you refer, you'll get paid $1,500. It pays out within 90 days. Pays out $250 on their first dispatch, $250 after 30 days, $500 after 60 days, and $500 after 90 days. However, the more people that you refer within the calendar year, the more you get paid for each referral. So if you refer 4 or 5 drivers within the calendar year, you'll get an extra $500. So it'll be $2,000 per referral instead of the $1,500. But if you refer 6 or more drivers within the calendar year, you're going to get $2,500 per driver. It still pays out within 90 days. It just keeps going up. Plus, there's a lot of other incentives like T-shirts, tumblers, $100 gift card to Pilot Flying J, business cards, which the business cards are super handy because then you can just hand those out to individuals who are asking or inquiring about the company, and it makes it a whole lot easier on you. They give us a call here in the recruiting department, and then we answer all of their questions based off of what we currently have available. So those are nice. You get an opportunity to win a jacket, to win an extra $2,500 as the top referrer of the year. And when we've given those prizes out, you can easily earn $11,000 just within the quarter. You can earn an extra $11,000 in referrals every year, but it's doable to do even in the last quarter. Just ask Jesus Torres. So not too bad. Ken says, stay out months at a time and I might need to come back. All right, you just let me know, Ken. You just let me know. What if you can't scan it and having issues with the device or app? What do you do then? For the paperwork, good question. Okay, so Frog Wally is asking about the paperwork. So one of the requirements is that you have to get the paperwork in by Sunday night at 10 p.m. If you're having issues with the app or the scanner, first off, you can use your phone and download the TransFlow mobile app, the Decker TransFlow mobile app on your phone, and use that to scan your documents and get that in. If you don't have it on your phone, you should have it on the tablet, which is in the truck. We use the TransFlow Geotab unit, which is the onboard communication, the ELD, gets your paperwork in, the communication and everything from you and your driver manager. It's all right there in the truck for you. Now, if it's not working for some reason, you can just take a picture and email it to the payroll department too. This is just a little bit easier. It's easier to follow, and it's a lot quicker. So it goes directly into the system. So great question, Wally. I appreciate you asking that. But yep, that's what you would do in that case. Back to the bonuses. So we talked about that sign-on bonus. There's more though, of course. That's not the only bonus. We've got the sign-on bonus. We've got the referral bonus. We have the quarterly accelerated part of the sign-on bonus. And then of course we've got the Smart Drive and the scorecard bonus. So the scorecard bonus is probably one of the biggest bonuses that we have. Last month, so not this most recent payout, but the month before, we paid over $80,000 out just between the scorecard and the Smart Drive bonus. This month, we paid over $79,000 out just in the scorecard and the Smart Drive bonus. Awesome payouts, which means, with the number of individuals that received bonuses, we had 63 company and 19 owner-operators get perfect scores. That means they had 1,000 points. They maximized the pay, got a full 4 cents a mile on all of those that they got that were paid out. Last month, we only had 70 perfect scores, which is really, those are bragging numbers by themselves, the 70. But to know that we had that many more this last month is phenomenal. Absolutely brag worthy. Tim says, I've been mentoring drivers that I refer to the company. Yeah, see, that's the way to go right there. Keep it going. That's what keeps those referrals coming, Tim. Last month, so for the month of April, we had 52% of all of our drivers get the scorecard bonus. So when I'm talking to somebody and they're asking me more about the incentives, and I start to tell them about our bonuses, these are our monthly bonuses, etc., a lot of times I get the response, I never count those. They're never obtainable anyway. Well, my numbers beg to differ. So yes, we had 30% of our drivers get the Smart Drive bonus. And in all honesty, looking at those numbers, those who got the Smart Drive bonus, the majority of them did receive, because we had 82, I believe, now that I'm saying that out loud, I think there's 82, Katie said, of the 30% of our drivers that received perfect scores. That means a 0 on their Smart Drive. It would have been unimaginable a couple of years ago when we started this, because there were so many things that we were learning about the Smart Drive and our driving habits, and just seeing those numbers improve is a huge shout out to all of our drivers. It's great for performance. It's just great for fuel efficiency, it's safety, and everything. It all adds up. Same with that scorecard bonus. The scorecard bonus, actually, let's give you something to look at so that you can see what all is entailed in that scorecard bonus. So this will kind of give you a visual for it. So here's our company scorecard. as you can see, this is the breakdown. You can get an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles that you run for that previous month. So everything you run from May 1st to May 31st, and that is completed. So the load does need to be completed by the 31st of May in order to count towards your miles. You can get an extra 5 cents a mile for all of those miles. That's between both the Scorecard and the Smart Drive. So I'm going to separate the two of them right now just so that you can kind of see the difference between those bonuses and what the criteria is. All right, fair enough? All right, let's dive in. So here you see the 825 to 899, that gets you an extra cents per mile. 900 to 949 points, an extra 2 cents a mile. 950 to 999 points, an extra 3 cents a mile. And a perfect score is going to get you 1,000 points, which would be an extra 4 cents a mile. Now, how do you get those points? That's the question, Okay, so now that's what gets you the cents per mile, but what are the points and how are they distributed? You can see here in red, next to each of the criteria, how much is allocated towards that specific criteria. Fuel compliance, a total of 50 points. So being compliant with the fuel at least 75% of the time will get you 10 points. Obviously, the more compliant you are, the more points you get. Now, look over at idle. Idle is a total of 200 points. So what does that tell you? That tells me that idle is super important. When it comes to the efficiency of the company in general, having a good idle time can save hundreds and thousands of dollars per truck. So idle time is a total of 200 points. If you're idling less than 5%, you're going to get a total of 200 points. Now, talking to some individuals who receive this on a regular basis, and I'm going to do a shout out because I just talked to Lisa about this last week, talking to her about, okay, how do you get a 1,000-point scorecard? Because so far, all year, she's obtained that 1,000 points. Now, she is not the only one. Todd Overson, Tony Vasquez, Robert Anderson, Lydia Dietrich, Dean Sosek, both John Hodges and Lee Hartfison, both owner-operators, also have maintained a 0% or I should say 5% or less in idle time. And what's the solution? Turn off your truck, she says. Just turn it off. Wherever you're at, turn it off whenever you're done. You don't need to sit and idle. That's the key. That's how she gets that perfect score from month to month. She says, of course, I'm compliant on my fuel. I'm getting the miles and everything, and I'm safe, but that's the key to it. Miles is another one. Now, her words exactly, when I'm talking to her about it, she said, getting 10,000 miles a month, I know I'm going to get the scorecard bonus. As long as I'm getting 10,000 miles or more a month, I've got it. In her words, the miles are not bad. It's not an unachievable, did I just make up a word? It is an achievable number to get those miles. We have the miles. So that's not the worry. If you're managing your time well, where you can get that truck unloaded, and a lot of ours are drop and hook. So yes, live unloads often, but usually preloaded trailers on the front end. It's pretty common, at least about 60% in the Midwest, about 50% out in the West. But if you are getting the trailer off and unloaded right away, then we can get you onto another load. So just because your appointment says I'm going to throw this as an example, but if your appointment says anywhere from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., why would you wait till 2 p.m.? Because if you can deliver earlier, get that load off and get another load right away, and your hours allow for it, why would you not make use of it so that you can continue to grow your miles and see an increase that way? That's how you're staying compliant. That's how you're keeping up on those miles and keep it moving. So now that's fuel compliance, that's idle, that's miles. Now claims. If you have any driver service claims, if you are at fault for any late loads, then yes, that does fall back on you. It's 100 points. So you're basically forfeiting all of those points that are allocated towards that section or that criteria of the bonus. Same goes for the CSA violations. Same goes for the preventable accidents. if you have one preventable accident, one service claim, one claim, excuse me, I was thinking service claim, but one freight claim, one CSA violation, you're forfeiting those points completely. So it only takes one to lose those points. And of course, that's going to affect that scorecard. Now, if you had a claim, but everything else was perfect, you're still at 900 points, which would put you at 2 cents per mile for the bonus for that month. Now, if you received a scorecard bonus that does not automatically qualify you for the Smart Drive bonus, but the odds of you getting a Smart Drive bonus are pretty high when you've already got the scorecard bonus, because they do not necessarily mirror each other, but they work hand in hand with each other. So with the Smart Drive bonus, you have to have a 0 to 20 points. So 20 points, 0 points being the best, but 0 to 20 will get you an extra penny per mile on all the miles that you ran that previous month or completed that previous month. So that's just one more bonus that'll get you. And talking to many of those who get those bonuses on a regular basis, they're telling you, that's an extra $5,000 a year in bonuses that you can see. It really does pay out. Really does. Wally says cell phone didn't work and the iPad wouldn't work, but only in Monday morning. So yeah, if that's the case, then you just take a snapshot, contact your driver manager, and then we'll have you email it directly to him. But for some reason, it should have worked. The worst case scenario is you can uninstall and reinstall it on your phone, and hopefully it will reset. It could be the connection as well. Jimmy Magali Gonzalez, hello. Sorry about. Do you guys hire out of New Jersey? Actually, Jimmy, yes, we do have a small section of the New Jersey area that we do hire from. Right now, I believe it is for our flatbed division. So whatever is your zip code or your city as well, if you want to put that into the chat, then we'll be able to tell you what we do have out of there, just to give you additional specifics. But it should be about 3 weeks out at a time, part of our flatbed division. It runs coast to coast, even though the majority of those runs are going to be within the Midwest and the Southeast. You'd be based out of our Bessemer, Alabama terminal. That's where your dispatch manager will be. Or your driver manager will be. But orientation, no matter what division you're starting in, orientation is in Fort Dodge, Iowa. So it is paid orientation. It's $500 for completing orientation. Although you do get an extra $100 if you complete the online orientation and get both your physical and your drug test completed before you get there. So I'll dive into that here in a moment as well. But back to that Smart Drive and that scorecard bonus, Tim is one of our owner-operators who transitioned from lease purchase owner-operator last year, actually. He says 3 cents for owner-operators. Exactly. Yeah, so where you can get 4 cents total for the scorecard bonus as a company driver, you can get a total of 3 cents as an owner-operator. So here's the difference. I'm going to bring this right back up so you can see it. But with the criteria for a company driver, fuel compliance and idle time, those are major factors as an owner-operator lease purchase, because if you are not compliant with fuel, that costs you more money as an owner-operator. And same with idle. If you idle a lot, that costs you a lot of money as an owner-operator or lease purchase individual. So all of the other criteria, the other 5 criteria, are still going to be relevant as an owner-operator and lease purchase, but we completely remove the idle and the fuel compliance from the criteria that has to be met for owner-operator lease purchase, because you don't need a double whammy. If you're not good at managing your time with the fuel compliance or managing the fuel compliance, and if you're not good at managing your idle time, then you're already hit hard with fuel costs, right? It's already eating at your bottom line. Well, as a company driver, it doesn't eat at your bottom line if you aren't compliant with one of those. It eats at Decker's bottom line. And so that's why we pay out bonuses based off of that to help you, or for you to help us by paying you for hard work and dedication and staying on top of those. So yeah, that's the scorecard with the reflection of the owner operator difference, 3 cents versus the 4 cents. But again, obviously the requirements makes a big difference. What Anna, I got this, and then it scribbled out. So okay, she says, I got you. 08805. All right, let's see what we've got. So Anna is taking a really good care of me, trying to relay the chat because for some reason it's just not popping up. And I'm afraid if I start clicking on things, I'll miss it altogether. So yes, Jimmy, we do have the flatbed out of there. It is about 3 weeks at a time that you'd be looking at for home time, every 3 weeks. We figure for every 7 days that you're out, it's a day and a half home time. So it'll give you about a day. It'll give you about 2 to 3 days home time when you get home. Who's running the vacuum in the background? There is none. It might be my computer. There is none. No. What happens if you have an out of service or an OS&D? So if you have an OS&D, if you're claim, then that would also count against you. Those are the claims that you're looking at. So if it's a claim on the freight itself, then I'll pull that right back up for you to see. But that is 100 points for claims. Yeah. If it's a CSA violation, it's going to be 200 points. So very good question. What am I missing here? Hey, Amy. Amy's trying to get her license and everything, registration all taken care of. You know how it is at the DMV sometimes, right? How does the OSMD affect your score when you didn't vote the trailer? Okay. So if you are picking up a trailer that had issues and you found it on your pre-trip, then that is not counted against you because it is part of your pre-trip and it was found that way. Now, if you left a trailer and with issues, then yes, that could fall back on you. But that's where we need to stay on top of it. So, yep. Monkey. All right, so I think I've got those. Looks like we're catching up here with the chat. Thank you, Anna, for looking after us and making sure that we can see that. As always, appreciate her. She does a good job. All right, also, we've got, I do want to give you guys an update. Speaking of having some issues here and there, we have the TransFlow Geotab unit in our trucks, and that's the tablet itself. Do I have that handy? I must have moved it. So it's a tablet, and that's how you can get your paperwork in. You can just take a snapshot. It'll go straight to the payroll department. We were having some issues with the navigation, however. So further investigation, Brent came back last week, and you might have already seen this in our communication that goes out every Friday through our Inside the Triangle. By the way, if you're not receiving that, please check your spam or your junk mail, because sometimes when it has an additional link in it, it'll go there. But the Inside the Triangle is our weekly newsletter that's in-house. It goes to all of our drivers as well as all of our in-house personnel to keep you updated on what's going on, any changes we've seen, any improvements, anything that we're focusing on. And the focus for the co-pilot navigation for taking care of those issues has been repaired. We are very thankful for that. So what we were seeing is that a couple of the settings on the tablet had been changed or tweaked through one of the updates through a secondary source. And because of that, it had affected all of our tablets, or the majority of our tablets, and the accuracy. So it was as much as 140 miles off from the original route. So now that we've got it fixed, it was fixed as of Thursday, I think? Maybe Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So you shouldn't be seeing those. But if you are, would you please let us know so that we can continue to look into it? Like I said, it should be all taken care of, so you shouldn't see that. But Frog says, why did we get mail for a week? Make sure that all of it's there before we take off. Why do we get mail for that? not like a week. Frog, can you reword that? I'm not sure what you're asking about before we take off. Yeah, can you reword that? I'm not sure what you're asking me. I want to make sure that I'm answering your question. That would be useful, huh? All right, I also want to give you guys an update on our wash policy. In the past, up until recently, we've allowed multiple washes within the terminal and then one wash per month out on the road. But if you were at the terminal and did a wash, then it would count against your washes out on the road. We've changed that policy. So if you have any questions regarding the policy, the best thing to do is to reach out to Bruce. Bruce is our main person or main point of contact for the wash, whether it's a trailer washout, a trailer wash outside, or a tractor wash. And then the main office, you can also get a hold of Marge, Carrie, or Taylor. So Bruce's extension is 2180. 2181 is Taylor. Carrie is 2145. 2147 for Marge. But again, those are the individuals who can get you, the drivers, the authorization when you need to do a tractor wash. The washouts can also be approved through them for the refrigerated washouts. We've increased that, by the way, from $10 to $15. We're paying you for your time. You're, as one of our drivers, as one of our refrigerated drivers, you're not washing the trailer out yourselves. We're paying you for your time while we have Blue Beacon wash it out for you. So that's the $15 for your time waiting for that. But back to the trailer washes. We've just changed it. So now you can have unlimited washes at the terminal. Unlimited. A Missoula, Fort Dodge, unlimited washes. However, you do still get a wash out on the road every 30 days. The exception to that is if you, during the winter months start when? November, December, January, February, and March. So those 5 months, yes, 5 months for winter. Those 5 months, you do get an additional wash throughout the 30-day period. So you'll get one every 15 days instead of one every 30 days for the truck wash. But remember, you need to obtain an authorization before you get your truck washed. So you need to get a hold of Bruce, Taylor, Marge, or Carrie for that. And just, you can contact your driver manager if you need more information on that. But huge plus. A lot of that those improvements came from our WorkHound surveys that we send out. We send out WorkHound surveys. We'll get back suggestions, sometimes frustrations or issues, and sometimes praises. But that was one suggestion that was sent out. I'm pretty excited about it because it just means that much more. Now for our lease purchase, guys, the same as a company drives, same qualifications. Owner operator, it doesn't qualify for you, or you don't qualify for that. However, if you have any questions about it, or if you need something like that done or approval, there is a what's the word I want? Like an account, like an escrow that you can have set aside for that. Thanks to Tim, I know that. Right? Let's see. So make sure if the driver's fault, you lose a scorecard bonus. Yes. If it's the driver's fault, then you would lose a scorecard bonus. Exactly. Frog, if that's what you were asking, Wally, then that's exactly right. IT needs to come service the computer and audio software. Where? Here? No, it's good. It's the computer is just running where my microphone's at. Wally says, how do we know if that's there before we get in our final stop, and why do we get to hit on the scorecard? How do we know if it's all there before we get to our final stop, and why do we get hit on the scorecard? You shouldn't, as long as it's sealed. And if I am understanding your question correctly, you're talking about what's in the refrigerated trailer, correct? Because it should be sealed, it should be checked beforehand. And no, if it's not your fault, it shouldn't fall back on you at all on that scorecard. So let me know if that's the case. Otherwise, Wally, I'm going to reach out to you and make sure that I'm answering your question. Wally. Answering your question fully. Okay. Excellent. Okay. I do want to talk about some of the additional bonuses and incentives as well, like the driver of the month and the driver of the year that we kind of went over last week. But before I do that, from the 5th to the 11th of June, we are actually going to be celebrating our maintenance department appreciation week. Each quarter, we try to appreciate a different department. And of course, our driver appreciation week is in September, and we've done that for years, obviously, for our driver appreciation, making everything, trying to make everything a big deal. We are looking for suggestions for driver gifts. So if there is something that you guys are looking for, or could use, could need, that others could also use or need, we would love your input on some suggestions for the gifts. However, from the 5th to the 11th of June, we're going to be celebrating our Maintenance Department Appreciation Week. So if you have any praises, any shout outs that you would like to mention on behalf of our shop, can you please include them in the chat right now, or send them to marketing@deckermail.com, because we would like to present our shop with a big old wall of praise and thankfulness for all that they've done for you guys, and all they do for us to keep everything moving and keep our equipment up to par, up to standards and beyond. So we're going to be recognizing the Fort Dodge, Missoula, Bessemer, Des Moines, Minneapolis, and Hammond terminals or shops. We're going to be recognizing those here on the 5th through the 11th of June. We'll be having cookouts and 7th through the 11th of June. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that the 5th is on Saturday. So the 7th through the 11th of June, we're going to be having a cookout at those locations and celebrating the shop. So feeding everybody. Who doesn't love food? But we're going to be singing their praises. If you have something that you would like to share, I would really appreciate you sending those over, so that we can also recognize those praises as well. All right. Tim says, well, Frog, if it's a multiple stop, thank you, by the way, Tim. I appreciate your help on that. If it's a multiple stop and you're short at one of the stops or at the final, but not short at the others, you won't know, he says. And then again, it won't fall back on you. Okay, so I do also want to hit on just a moment of one of the other bonuses. This is our driver of the month, which leads to driver of the year. This is a very large bonus for one individual. Well, it's for 6 individuals. It's pretty darn big, but for one individual, it's a really big bonus. So, and then yes, it's every year. So we've got our driver of the month for each division. Let me see if I can move this so you can actually see it. Here we are. Okay, so we have our driver of the month program, which the driver of the month receives a $100 Walmart gift card plus a $50 gift card to the Decker store. But we also have nominees for several of the divisions. It does depend on how many individuals are in that division, which would determine whether or not there's a nominee for the division. Otherwise, we'll just have the winner. If there's a nominee, again, it's a $50 gift card to Walmart and a gift from the Decker store. Each division, we have Western Refrigerated, we have the Midwest Refrigerated, we have the Midwest Flatbed, the Southern Flatbed. Our Midwest Van is part of our Midwest Refrigerated division. We have the owner-operator lease purchase, and we have our teams. Out of those divisions, a winner is chosen each month. From the winner that's chosen each month, and you can only be chosen 1 month within a 12-month or 12-month calendar year. You can only be chosen once. From those winners, we choose our driver of the year. Our driver of the year award is a $3,000 bonus for the driver of the year. Okay, so you can win driver of the year back to back. Just ask this year's grand champion, Tony Vasquez, who won 3 years in a row. Chad Hazelton. Chad, I think, is 3 as well. I'm trying to think of how long he's won driver of the year as well. Quite a few. But here you can see that each division receives a $3,000 bonus. They also receive a driver of the year jacket, a plaque, and a tractor decal. The scoring is based off of our Smart Drive bonuses and our Scorecard bonus. So it's a combination of those: fuel compliance, idle time, preventable accidents, service failures, miles per week, claims, CSA violations, Scorecard. All of those factors are, in fact, factors when it comes to the driver of the month and the driver of the year scorings. So you first start with the driver of the month. All of the driver of the months are then reevaluated to determine who's going to be driver of the year for that division each time. And then at that point, all of the driver of the years who will be recognized in our driver of the year ceremony, this last year was in March, and it was virtual, so it was a little bit different than normal, but you'll have to check out the YouTube video, it's great. But so the virtual, or hopefully in person, I'm hoping for next year being in person, the ceremony will announce the grand champion, who again will be coming from the driver of the years for that division. So instead of the $3,000 bonus, the grand champion gets $15,000 plus the decal and the plaque and all of the massive check that comes with it. So yes, we love those recognitions. The ceremony is a blast. It's fun to see everybody. It's fun to kind of get to know them on a personal level. But that grand champion, $15,000. $15,000. That's the bonus. So we love those. So yeah, that's yet another bonus that we have that's available here at Decker. So we've talked about the referral bonus, we've talked about the Smart Drive bonus, we've talked about the Scorecard bonus, we've talked about the driver of the month and driver of the year and grand champion bonuses. There are a lot of different incentive pays as well, or extra pays, accessory pays, things like that, such as the $50 clean inspection pay, or I mentioned the trailer washout pay, paying for your time for that. So there's quite a few little incentives that come up that add up as well that will benefit you. Tim says, dry box drivers and refrigerated drivers need a battery pack leaf blower so they can clean the back of their trailers out. Sometimes, yes, I feel so. That's a great gift idea. It might be a ginormous one. Yeah, that would be fun. I think some of you guys would get in trouble with some of those. I actually got a suggestion from Dean this morning saying that we need those flashlights we gave out a few years ago. He said, these flashlights, they're top of the line. They're awesome. They work great. Those are what we need to see again for the driver appreciation. So you guys, whether you want to send me a message on Facebook, facebook.com/DTL Inc., or if you want to send us a message, marketing@deckermail.com, or just flat out right here, we'll take it. We'll love the suggestions. We appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. So those are our bonuses. I hope you guys, hopefully we've answered your questions for that. But before we let you go, I do know that a lot of you guys came to find out what we have available in your area. So I'm going to take a drink, and then hopefully I'll be able to further answer some of you guys' questions on availability for driving positions. Mm-hmm. All right, too much talking. Needed that. We have a local position out of Bessemer, Alabama. This is actually a refrigerated position that we have. So if you have at least 3 months of refrigerated or driving experience, tractor trailer, we should have, sorry, I'm reading a note from Miss Anna. Then we do have a local refrigerated position out of Bessemer, Alabama. Now remember, orientation and everything is in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and I promised I would go over that, so I'll dive into that too for you. But orientation's in Fort Dodge. We'll take care of your hotel, your meals, of course, your transportation up here, whether it be a flight or a rental car, we'll take care of that as well. And then orientation pays $500 for the 2.5 days of like in-person orientation. You get a bonus $100 coming in as long as you finished your clearinghouse, which is like the drug and alcohol signature release, the LUMA training, which is our online orientation training that needs to be done before orientation, our physical, you might even have a recent physical that'll qualify you, so that'll be fine, and your drug test, your urinalysis. Those 4 things must be done before coming to orientation. then you'll get that extra $100 on top of that $500 orientation pay. Once you get to orientation, we'll take care of your hotel, we'll take care of your meals. You get that pay, like I said, and that'll come on your Com data card. You'll go through the PCE, which is range of motion and resistance test. You'll have your driving test, and you'll also have the hair follicle. So the hair follicle is actually done in Fort Dodge, where the urinalysis and the PCE is done ahead of time. And the reason we do that is because the urinalysis and the PCE, that can hold you up from getting dispatched out, the urinalysis and the physical can hold you up from getting dispatched out. And we want to make sure that as soon as you've completed the 2.5-day orientation in Fort Dodge, you can be dispatched out. Because I know you guys will probably get antsy. You don't want to just sit around. You want to get to work. That's what you came for. So we want to make sure that we're getting you moving and getting you in the right direction as soon as possible. So making the money, right? Yes. Let me see which one that is. Oh, I see which one that is. Okay. All right. So I was looking at Anna's comment here. What else? Orientation. Then we also pay, we have the guarantee pay for the certain divisions. Like I had mentioned before, we do have the online training for orientation. We have the $1,500 guaranteed pay for our Midwest fresh meat dedicated division. That one's also available. We have our certain areas. Now we have increased the hiring area for that one. So where we had it before, we've also included Kansas City up to Omaha and up to Osceola. What is it? Oswego? I'm gonna get it wrong. But we have additional areas for that fresh meat dedicated fleet. Fresh meat dedicated fleet. Tim, say it 5 times real fast. Go. Yeah. Joseph was making fun of me yesterday because I couldn't say it once, let alone twice. So we do have availability there. The best thing to do is to give us a call right here, 888-668-0698, or apply directly online. We can give you a call, give you the details. We'll have them sent to you by email, as well as going over them with you on the phone there as well, so that you are up to date and well aware of what's going on. Well educated, right? That's a word. It's a word. We also have new areas in our Southern Flatbed Division that'll get you home on a weekly basis. If you live in the Florence, South Carolina area, up 85, I believe. Is it 85? 95. Hang on, I'm cheating. 95, up to Roland, over to Whiteville, over to Rigglewood. So that area there, South Carolina, North Carolina, we can get you home on a weekly basis if you're along that route. Call us at 888-668-0698 for more details. We also have our Southern Flatbed out of Virginia. That was an area that you were wondering whether or not we had anything available out of. So if you're looking from South Hill up to Richmond, Virginia, we do have home weekly in our flatbed division. Don't forget that we do require 6 months of flatbed experience in order to qualify for that division. No major moving violations, no DOT recordable accidents. When it comes to tickets and moving violations, we can work with 3 in a 3-year period. We can even work with 3 minor incidents, like maybe a backing incident or a turning or landscape incident within a 3-year period. But no more than that. No DOT recordable accidents. No felonies, no misdemeanors within the last 5 years. No DUIs, DWIs within the last 3 years. None within the last 5 years if it was a commercial DUI or DWI. Of course, that has to be at the very, very least 5 years old. So, I think I've got, just trying to see if I've got all of that. Yes, no? Let's talk about our trucks. I haven't really talked about what our trucks entail, and I think that's probably worth talking about, since the majority of you, the trucks catch your eye, and then that right there will sell you on the company, right? So let's talk about those. Let me get you a link here. Maybe. so that you can kind of see it as I go through it. Game on. There we go. All right, so these are our trucks. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. You want to know why? Let's push play. Let's get the right source here for you. So the inside, our trucks are usually, wait for it here. Our trucks are 2018 and newer, and all these 2018s will be coming out of the fleet here this year, we expect. They'll be replaced by the newer models. We like to keep them on an average age of about 18 months. So newer model trucks. Yeah, it doesn't really want me to play the video there, Anna. Not at all. We'll try one more time. There we go. Whoops. But they're newer model trucks. They're well maintained. They have pretty much everything that you can imagine on them, from APUs, inverters, CB units, navigation, Sirius radio. We have the 32-inch television. There's the microwave. We have the 32-inch TV. It's a smart TV that provides Epic View satellite television. You can do Netflix, Disney, those type of things you can set up on them as well. But the Epic View satellite television is included in the package. But that you can kind of see the basics there of the equipment. They're very well equipped. They have pretty much free Wi-Fi. All the newer trucks will have the double bunks. As of right now, we aren't 100% double bunks, but they will be getting those new ones in. And they're coming in. They're starting to come back in. I know we were kind of held up because Peterbilt was waiting on those chips to come in. Those chips are in. The manufacturers are getting them, at least for now, and getting those trucks out. So we like to see that. Yes, indeed. Am I missing anything, Anna? Any comments that may have come in? Tim says, don't forget about the Million Mile Jacket plaques and rings. Why do you know about that, Tim? How? So Tim hit his, and I'm going to put like a little asterisk here because, yes, he was awarded his 1,000,000 miles this year. If you didn't already know that. Our 1,000,000 mile winners, they get the plaques, the jackets and everything. However, I know that Tim has more miles than that. Those are just the only ones that we were able to qualify for him. So he was finally recognized for his 1,000,000 miles. Anything else? Anna says, nope, we got it. We got everything else. But yeah, so 1,000,000 mile winners. We had was it a 4 million mile winner? Art was Kirby. I was trying to think of how many. We had lots of 1,000,000, 2 million, 3 million. I think 1 4 million mile winner this year, or achiever, I guess. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All part of our award ceremony that we do back in April. So you guys are going to have to check out the replays on our YouTube and our Facebook. You can check them out there as well. All right, you guys, I would love to talk more about some of the available positions that we have. We do have quite a few great opportunities, great solid pay, amazing benefits, top of the line equipment. I can go on and on, but I know I've already taken up my time here with you today. So please don't forget to join us next week, next Tuesday, right here for our YouTube. This is our Q&A that we do every Tuesday at noon Central. Our Monday edition that'll be on our Facebook will not be next week, seeing as it's Memorial Day. So please, if you are around friends and family or can celebrate the Memorial weekend, please do. Please be well aware that there are going to be a lot of people out on the road. And some of the most dangerous times of the year are when they're vacations, when people are off and celebrating holidays. There's a lot more traffic, and not everybody is at the standard of our professional drivers. So please be safe and cautious out on the road. All right. Well, we will see you guys next Tuesday here on our YouTube channel. Be safe, have fun, take care, and please give us a call if you have any questions. 888-668-0698. Huge shout out to Anna. Thank you so much for your help today. and copying and pasting everything so that I could read it. For some reason I wasn't able to. But huge shout out to you as always. And Tim, thank you also for helping to cover some of those questions in the chat today.